This is crazy. Like, these kids was just minding their business, playing around and stuff like that, or whatever, whatnot. And like this, like Asian dude, actually, like shot a child or whatever, whatnot. And the child is still living. The bullet went through his arm or whatever. Now they put this guy in jail, right? But they gave him a $10,000 bond, and they got paid, and he's out. Now this happened like back in like 2021, and that's the craziest ever. Now he didn't want to admit that he did it. He pleaded non-contest or whatever, whatnot, and then went back to jail or whatever, whatnot. But still though, they took it easy on him. He went to jail for 30 months without trying to admit that he did something to the little boy or whatever, whatnot. It was crazy, and it was on video too. Dang, but they still took it easy on him though. That's some crazy stuff. Real crazy. That's on bro. Anyway, that's cop went up to this man right after he wanna let him in the courtroom to face the judge or nothing like that. And he pepper sprayed him and he popped him in his jaw when he was walking away. So he started try to actually put hands on the man. Stuff got iffy. Man fought back. He blinded this man permanently for spraying all that pepper spray up in his eye. They put him up in a holding cell in the courthouse because he was fighting back. He wasn't gonna just stand there and just let the cop well on him for nothing or nothing like that. Real. But this is the messed up thing though. The cop didn't even get charged for assaulting this man. That's some crazy stuff. Up in the courthouse, yes, he assaulted this man and he didn't get no jail time. Other than that, the person that got assaulted by the cop didn't get no jail time either. Thank goodness for that. Rather, because yeah, I mean shoot, they sometimes they do to go ahead and put people in jail for nothing. And that's on bro. But most of the time, actually, gotta be careful out here. We gotta teach our young ones to be careful out here too. Gotta teach them how to move and all that stuff. Anyway, now this boy was getting bullied in school. Well, yeah, he was getting bullied because the kids was up there calling them racial slurs and stuff like that, and it was these girls, and they put some water in his hair, and he asked them why, and they said they wanted to see how a black person hair be when it's wet or whatever when not. You know what I'm saying? They not trying to do none. They ain't trying to do anything. Some other called up there and all that stuff, try to see what was going on and see if they go what they gonna do to protect her son from all that bull or whatever whatnot. And shoot, I hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? I mean shoot, because it's they actually don't want to do none. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, so and cops love being schooled, for real though, because this cop trying to mess with this man on a motorbike, for real though, and he was up there trying to explain to him that he can't drive on this side of the road or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? With a motorbike. This dude called this man a motorbike. He was like, "Are you a motorcycle?" No, I'm a person. I'm not a motorcycle. For real though. So he spent his knowledge on what he thought or whatever, and he got schooled. He got schooled by the person with the bike because the person was smarter than and was smarter than him. For real though. And that's on bro. Anyway, now they try to mess with this other dude that was in his car. He was on his phone or whatever, whatnot, and somebody called him and said that he was asleep in the car. For real though. When the cops showed up, they seen that man wasn't asleep or nothing like that, and he schooled him right there on the spot. For real though. Because they don't know what they was talking about or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Yeah. But when other people try to smart the cop, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, asking about the supervisor and stuff like that, they get a pencil and then stuff end up become a major problem or whatever, and MP shit just start happening or whatever, whatnot. For real though, it's just crazy like that, and that's on bro. Anyway, now shoot, this dude was going actually lost his car picking on or whatever, went up in a restaurant, started crashing up, throwing stuff and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the employees was telling them to get out. For real though. They said get out. You know what I mean? Because they thought he was gonna he thought he was gonna get away with it or whatever or not. You know what I'm saying? He thought they wasn't gonna stand up to him. That's the thing. For real though. This woman was pregnant and she had her child up in the place or whatever whatnot. And she was one of the employees. And she they actually stood up to that dude and told him to get out or whatever or whatnot. He didn't want to leave. So they actually went up to him and started walking away. Because why? He what I'm saying, actually just was oh my goodness, that's supposed to be happening. But it didn't happen though. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because he just wanted to cause a scene. That's about it. And then after before he left or whatever, he did that he did some or whatever, just like they used to do in wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, it's crazy as ever. I'm oh my god, I really don't even want to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He thrust his pelvis. That's about it. How they do it on wrestling, when they used to say suck it or whatever, they thrust they yeah, he did the same thing or whatever and whatnot. And they called the police on him for that or whatever. And I don't know what the cop did or whatever, but the cop did give him a talking to. Yeah, he did get that talking to from that cop. Real though. That's what bro. But I don't know what happened though. Real. Anyway, so I might go ahead and just play the game with Brody or whatever whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Just came back from Walmart or whatever whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I have to put money on my card so I can pay for class, because I did say I was gonna pay for class tomorrow or whatever whatnot. Yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I said I was gonna pay for class on Monday or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go ahead and take care of that or whatever whatnot. That's it. So that's what I did. I went to go stand on business. That's what I did. And now I'm not capping about none. Yeah, I actually did it. That's it. But when I came back, I continue on studying on what I wanted to talk about or whatever, you know what I mean? Because yeah, I have to study my stuff if I'm gonna talk about it, you know what I mean? I mean, like, if I'm not gonna study it, then I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell on notifications so you get some of my estimates uploaded when I'm supposed to make sure I make a number tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like, gang. So long, farewell, goodbye.